welcome to my class. And this class I will be dealing with a topic called plant water relations. And this class will be having the following objectives. At the end of this particular lecture, we should be able to explain biological significance of water. We should summarize properties of water to classify physical concepts of water absorption. What is the biological significance of water? So biologically, water is the planet Earth, water has got a very significant role to play, and that too for the organisms, it is a very vital component. And 90% of the protoplast is made up of water. So our body, each and every cell is composed of water up to 90%. It ranges from 70 to 90. And it is not only that, it is the medium for the movement of dissolved substances, and it plays a very vital role in many metabolic reactions and act as a solvent also. And to become these biologically significant, so significant, water should have particular properties. So we will look into those properties also one by one. And water is liquid at room temperature. That is usually in the 20 to 40 degrees centigrade, water will be liquid, and high melting point and boiling point. Melting point of water is also high. The boiling point of water is also high. Melting point refers to 4 degrees. So water melts from solid to liquid, and boiling point is 100 degrees. So there is a wide range of temperature range which is very much feasible for the organisms to live. And surface tension of the water, particular the water, how it places on adheres on the other substances, it is also matters. And adhesive force of water, cohesive force of water, very important for the transpiration, all those functions, ascent of sap and all. And cell wise also, they will show different kind of hydrophilic and hydrophobic properties, and it makes a very significant difference between the plants. And moreover, it acting as a medium, and since water is elixir of life and it acts as a solvent, it makes a very important significant phenomenon in this particular aspect. And light absorption by water plays very important regulations of the temperature, and diffraction, deflection, and the light duration and temperature will be controlled because of this particular property. Coming back to the physical concepts of the water, so with the chemical properties of the water and biological significance of water, now we should able to understand what are the physical concepts which are involved in the plant water relations. And majorly there are three very important concepts called diffusion. And what is diffusion? Diffusion is movement of water from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration from any substances. It may be, need not be water only. Diffusion is the movement of molecules. Always molecules will move from their higher concentration to their lower concentration, and this particular phenomenon will be called as diffusion. Then osmosis is nothing but movement of water from region of higher concentration to lower concentration. But here the difference is it takes place in a liquid medium, because there should be a semi-permeable membrane to transport. So diffusion can occur in gaseous state also, but osmosis majorly occurs in liquid state of the matter. And for osmosis to occur, we need a semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane, as in the case of organisms. And there is a third phenomenon which is called as imbibition. Imbibition is nothing but absorption of water by the solid substances without forming a solution. So this is how the three physical concepts can be classified. Now what happens in the different concepts, that's what we are going to observe. So see how the diffusion takes place. So diffusion, when you will have a solution for take for example, you will have a container full of water and you will add salt to it, and next you will add sugar to it. Over a period of time, what happens, salt or sugars will diffuse, they dissolve and they start diffusing from the water. So initially what happens, this will be the concentration, there will be two different solutes will be, or there will be phases of two different. Over a period of time they will start intermediate stage, that means they start relocating from their higher concentration to their lower concentration. Over a period of time we can see that both solvents or whatever solvents which are there in the solute so whatever solutes which are there in the solvent will be diffused properly. This is how the diffusion is described, and diffusion has a significance in the plants since it acts in the exchange of gases during respiration and photosynthesis, and it is responsible for passive salt uptake of the ions, and it plays a very important role in stomatal transpiration, and short distance transport of food and other molecules can will takes place by the property of diffusion. Next, let us study about osmosis. As we have studied earlier, osmosis is the movement of water molecules from its higher concentration to its lower concentration. So, it can occur in two different manners, basically, like endosmosis, where the if you consider this particular aspect as a cell. So the internal structure what is there here, which is seen here, is a cell, and a cell here water will be there. Within cell there will be less amount of water if it is there. So then that cell will be taking water from the outside, and that water we can observe coming from the inside, it will enter into the plants, and if water is more in plant cell and it's less in outside, water can move outside, and that particular process is called as exosmosis. This is how it is, and osmosis is a very important concept, physical concept in the plant water relations, and main mode of water absorption by roots from the soil, and maintenance of turgidity through regulation of osmotic pressure takes place by the osmosis, and role in stomatal transpiration and plant movement, and it is a very important component for short distance transport, that is cell to cell transport will takes place by the help of osmosis. Uh, when it comes to the imbibition is only only the substrate, hydrophilic substrate will take adsorbed in the lattice structure. The water molecules will be adsorbed. So only the surfacially they will go and sit on the substrate, and they won't there is no making solution out of that. So this is also very significant phenomenon, and initial step of germination of seed takes place by the imbibition and helps in the breaking of seed coat and testa, and first step in the absorption of water by the roots and movement of water into ovules for the fertilization takes place by the imbibition. So these are all the very important physical concepts what we have studied, and at the end of this particular lecture you are able to explain biological significance of water, summarize the properties of water, and classify physical concepts of diffusion, osmosis, imbibition with illustrations. Hope this particular lecture was useful to you. Thank you for listening.